So hello and welcome everyone. Today we will speak about Data Vault and macros, how to automatically create some object using the product. See, there's a question. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Glenn. Okay, so regarding today we will focus on. So I will start with some few slides just to explain the AR Studio overview, to see the product overview and what we can achieve with the solution. Then we will switch to the demonstration itself, and we will finish with some question, and we will try to answer them. Regarding our solution, this is a solution for the data architects. They can document, they can design their different models within the solution. You can create them with the UI directly, or you can even create some macros if you want to automate the creation of the different objects. We are supporting different products within the solution. It can be the databases, it can be some data governance tool directly, such as Colibra and so on. And we can directly also link our different objects with terms together. We can, with the solution, we can create some conceptual models where you will define your different concepts, your different subject of area directly in your different project. We can create in this different concept some the main entities, I would say, where you can put some direct links between these different entities. Then you will be able to create a logical data model from this enterprise conceptual data model. You can compare and directly get your different concepts. You can also get your main entities, and you can add some more details, such as attributes, some specific relationship between your object, and you can even create more detail, more entities to explain your to create your logical model. When you have created all these different models and have this in your enterprise, you can then use this different model for different things. You can create a new logical model. You can create a new project, compare with your enterprise one to automatically generate your logical model with your entities. From this logical model, you will be able to also generate directly the physical model for your database or your data warehouse and so on, directly from the solution. And automatically, we will also link the different objects together with these blue links, which are universal mappings in our solution. You can easily view where your entities comes from. So, for example, here I can see that my customer is related to my enterprise model with the entity customer, and the same for my concept and so on. You can create databases from your different models. You can also create some JSON files directly from the same model or from different as you want. You will create this different project, and you will be able to generate databases, JSON project. Or you can also reverse engineer your existing data assets. You will generate automatically your physical model with Data Architect. It will also generate your logical model. Then you can compare your logical model with your enterprise model. You can get some extra metadata that you have specified for this object to be sure that they are applied to the existing application, for example. And so you can easily document existing assets, update them, or you can create from scratch some new projects. From these different entities, attributes, and all the definitions that we will put for our entities and attributes, you can directly harvest these objects to generate a business glossary with the different terms from these entities. It can automatically generate a customer business term from your entity customer. It will take the definition and so on for the attributes and all the different objects that you have in your models. It will generate your business glossaries. Then you can relate your business glossaries, your business terms to the different objects that you have in your models. And so when you will search for your for a specific information, and we will see this during the demonstration. When I will search, for example, for customer, I can find all the different entities or all the different objects that are linked to my business term customer, so I can find my information wherever it is, depending on what I need. We also support different approaches, such as the medallion architecture. We can create some star schema. We can manage a different layer with the silver, gold, bronze, and so on. And we can also create some star schema, but data vault too. And today we will focus on this specific part where we can use different projects. We can find the information, and then we will be able to create some data vault object using the macros that we will see. Regarding the products that will be involved today, we have a data architect, which is the SIG client that I will use for the demonstration. You can create your different kind of models directly in the solution. You can also create some visual data lineage with transformation, data movement directly defined in the solution. You can compare the different models together, or you can compare a physical model, for example, with your database to be sure that all the changes can be directly you can update your model, or you can update your database directly from the solution. You can reverse, like we said with the previous slide, from an existing database, or you can generate the script to generate your database directly from the solution. And what we can achieve with Data Architect, we can use the COM automation interface, which is provided with Data Architect. So you can automatically create some all these different tasks. If you want to create a new logical model, a new project, a new physical model, and so on in Data Architect, you can do it from a script. And so you can automatically generate some different objects. And this is what we will use today to automatically generate some objects from existing objects using a specific interface designed in this macro. We can also work with version control. We can do it from macro too. We can check in, check out, compare the different version of my models, and we can also publish our model. Here we will work as data architect, and when my projects are ready, I can share them through Team Server, which is a web server, so everyone can connect through a web browser to our solution. I will show it during the demo. You can view all the different information, all the metadata that we have documented or designed, and we can directly view this information using this web browser. We have also an integration with data catalog and other solutions such as Collibra or Microsoft Purview, and we are using some REST API, but this is the server part, and we will definitely not focus on it today. Regarding the demonstration, so we will switch to the product just after this slide. So today I will try to explain this new request. So I have a request from the business team, which is requesting more information regarding an existing data vault model design that we have created. They don't have enough information, so we will implement some new objects. So we will create a new hub, we will create a link, a satellite directly with the different macro. We will focus on this part today to show how to directly implement this new feature. And so we want to implement some object to be able to get the commission per employee, and also to know which product has been sold and for this commission. So we will start right now with reviewing what we have already existing in the product, and then we will update the existing solution with our product. Here I have my Ideras Team Server. I will close this window. I don't need it. Okay. So I have my Idera Team Server, which has been launched. So from Team Server, I can login. I can use SSO using Microsoft Entra ID, Okta, and so on, or I can directly log in with a local user. I will use this user, which is administrator, and I can show you different features. From here, I can search for different terms. I can search, I can navigate and view the different projects that are existing in my solution. So regarding the slide we have seen, I have a conceptual data model, I have a corporate logical data model, I have also some different projects that we are using, and today we will use a Data Vault warehouse. But we can search, for example, all the different links I show you, the blue and the green links that we have seen in the slides. So if I search, for example, I want to search to change my commission, so I can search for the term commission, and I can get all the different business terms that have been created in my solution where it is involved. So I can find my commission payment, for example. I can view my definition for my commission payment. I can view some specific custom field that we want to add. You can create your own custom field to be sure that you have your data. And we can also create some different attributes. So for example, a commission payment will have a commission payment value. I can also relate my term commission with other terms within the solution. So for example, I can navigate to my employee. From here, I can view, for example, where it comes from. So an employee is from party role. So if I show the taxonomies, the different ontologies for my party, I can find party role, employee, which is available where I come from, okay, directly from here. And I can always navigate and quickly find the relevant information that I'm interested by. So my employee is related to my commission payment. This is where we come from, where we come from. And we can also relate, and this is for me the most interesting part, will be to relate our business term to the different objects that we have in our models. So here I can see that my commission payment is already related to different objects. So in my corporate logical model, I have an entity which is named commission payment. I can open it and view it, for example, in this new tab. So I can find my entity commission payment. I can put a definition. I can have some different attributes on these specific entities. I can also create some specific models to illustrate to show my model. So I have a logical model here with my commission payment. I can find the relevant information directly from here. I can also navigate to different to other projects. So it was one of the projects. I have it in my goal layer. So if we navigate here, I can find with the goal layer my dimensions that we have created in a star schema. So I can directly view where it is used. I can view the different model directly from this user interface. So this is not an image. I can directly use my edit my object. So I can view that fact table is related to a dimension commission payment, where I can see different attributes. I have a paid attribute, a payment date. I have a product name. So this is an information that they have requested. What we explained in the slide. So we want this product name. And so if we come back to the data warehouse, and if we check what we have in our data warehouse, we can directly navigate to the satellite with our commission payment, and I can view the model from here too. So I can navigate and view my satellite commission payment, where I have my paid attribute, but effectively I don't have any product in this payment in this commission payment entity. So we need to update the existing data vault so we can fulfill the requested sorry it was here the requested requirement that we have okay. So if I want to use this different information, I can see from my different models. So I have here my data vault, my existing data vault with the missing information. We can see different sort of objects that are involved. I don't know if you are familiar with with the Data Vault object. So we have here in blue, I will say we have some hubs. So the hubs are representing some list of unique business keys. So for example, here I have an employee which has 2 business keys, which are first name and surname. So these business keys are the keys that will be used to be sure that when we have a line in our table, it will be always for this user and not for another one, for my employee. I want to be sure it will be always the same. We don't use, for example, the primary keys because your primary keys will be, if it's a primary key which is generated by the system, for example, a sequence from your database. This sequence number will this identifier can differ from one database to another database for the same user. So this is why you have to choose some business keys to be sure that your object will be unique. If you are using, for example, your Windows login name and you are always using this Windows login name everywhere, it can be your business keys that you will use for this, for example. Regarding the red one, this one is a link. So a link is an object which will which allow you to relate different hub or link together. So it will allow you to describe, for example, I have some orders and some employees, and I want to relate my order and my employees. So I will create a link to be sure that this list of relationship of interaction between my business keys will be handled through this link. And finally, we have the yellow ones, which are satellites. And the satellites are used to, this is where you will have your description, your different contexts and changing values. And so, for instance, this is where I have my, for example, for my commission payment, the value paid is one of the value which will change in my satellites, in my table, my original table. And so we will, the name and the last name will never change if we look at the hub for my employee, okay? So it will remain always the same, but the commission payment will evolve with the time, and so we will use some satellite to achieve this. So we are using the project Data Vault warehouse with a Data Vault. So I will switch this time to the C client. So from my C client, I can go to my repository. I'm already logged in, so you can log in to the repository to get your existing project. So from this user interface, I can see my different projects from ER tools. Here I have the different projects that we have already shared in the repository and in Team Server. From here, I can get the same hierarchy with my different projects that we have created, and I can get my Data Vault warehouse directly from my repository. I will check out the project so I can update it directly after I have downloaded my local copy. That's it. So as we can see, I have exactly the same diagrams that we have seen in our browser. So you can easily share your data assets through this web browser with Team Server. And we want to get our product with the employee for the commission that we have created. If I look at the left, I have different models, and some models in my project. I can see my vault is here. We have created a specific data vault. This one is using Snowflake. You can use Databricks, whatever you want for your target database or data warehouse. And here I have some different databases. So for example, I have my the database that we have used to create this data vault is this one. And this database contains a table on EMP for my employees, order, product, and so on. And so I have my product available in the database, but I haven't used it for my current data vault. So you can create your data vault manually. You can create all these objects manually. You can insert a new table, name it with the name you want, add the column you want to do. Otherwise, you can use some custom macros that can create these different objects. So there are 4 different macros used. This one is used by the other one, but we will not call it directly. This generic macro is a macro which will allow you to select to run the other macros for a hub, a link, a satellite. Depending on the object you have selected, you can call different macros. This is why everything was disabled when I run it. If I, for example, select these 2 objects and then I run this macro, you will see that this time I can create a link because he knows that when I select 2 entities, it is a link, always a link for 2 entities. If I select only one object, it will show me some create data vault here, same. So you have different ways to call the same, and you can see here I can create a hub, a satellite directly from these different objects. Regarding our project, we also have here the logical view of my data of my database. So I can see that I have my employee, my commission payment, and the products that are linked with the order line to the order. And so I can easily add this product to my data vault. So to achieve this, I can select my entity product. I can then go to the macro tab and run create data vault or the hub, the macro hub directly to generate the hub. It will ask me some different questions before creating the macro, the hub. So from here, or we can also create some shortcut, for example, for the macro. I said that all my entities should display all these different macros, and I can create my hub directly using this shortcut. So when I click on it, we see that it has already checked some different models when I launch the macro. What he has done, it shows me the first thing is to select where in which model I want to generate my data vault object, which will be a hub for this one. So I have selected this data vault physical model, and then the submodel vault has been selected as the target. This is the one which we can see here. This one, okay? So this is where I want to put my new hub. My new hub will have a prefix. It will be h underscore followed by my the table name, which is product. And then I will select, like I was explaining for my employee, I will select which attributes of my entity will be the business keys for my product. So depending on the different columns and different features, you can directly select the column from different values. So for example, I can select it from my primary key, or it will automatically select this column. So if my product identifier is, for example, the unique identifier for all the different systems, this is the code barcode, the barcode, the EAN, for example, and things like this. I can use this number, or I can use the product name if the name is unique for all the different products, depending on the different values. And so it automatically shows us the primary key or the different alternate keys that are available for these specific entities. So for instance, I will select my product name with my product identifier. So I'm sure that with these 2 attributes, it will be unique. And if these 2 values are provided, it will be always for one unique product that I will use these values. Then I can select I can generate some domains for my different fields for the different attributes that I will generate. So these domains can be generated in a specific dictionary that we have. So if you are familiar with Data Architect, you can create in your data dictionary some domains for specific columns attributes that you want to reuse. For example, for a zip code, for countries, I want to have a list of my countries with reference values and so on. I can reuse always the same domain, and so we can generate for you with this macro all the different domain that will be used by the hub object. This one will generate some visual data lineage. It will show where the entity that has been used as the source to generate the hub with the transformation to generate the H key for this specific hub directly. And here you can see what some logs that has been generated from the solution. When I click the start button, it will use the parameters that we have specified to automatically generate the current the hub. I have selected to stay on my current model, so I was on product and I have selected this one. I can select to navigate to the data flow that will be generated or to the data vault itself where it has generated the hub. So here I have my product table, and if we navigate to the hub, to this data vault hub, I will see here I have my product that has appeared, which is now available. So we can see if we look the details of this specific hub, so we have the name and the product identifier, which are the business keys that we have selected. So it has automatically copied the data type, the name of this field. It has automatically added all these different fields, which are common fields. Depending on the solution, you will, if you are using some specific tools for your data vault, some of them will have DSS record source, some of them will have DSS load date, and many of these different values. You can have, for example, the BKCC with the definition here. I don't have the definition. I think I should put it. So for the business key changing and things like this, you can directly define all these different values, and you will see them. It will automatically generate the entity for you in your model. If you are not satisfied, if you don't need a specific column, or if you need another one and so on, you can always go back to your macro. You can right-click or double-click it. So right-click for the contextual menu to edit the macro. You can double-click, it will do exactly the same, and it will open the macro for you. And then you can read the different comments to find the different section of this macro. Here we have the different parts. Depending on what you want to change. For example, here it will add the hub to your target data vault. It will then add the HKey column and the different business keys. And you can see here it will add the DSS record source, the BKCC, collision code, and so on. So if you need another column or don't need a specific one, you can always remove some specific line or add some specific lines in your script. We have created a hub. So as I want my commission per employee with my product, what I can do, for example, I have already this commission payment, which is already used. What I can achieve is I can reuse my link table to my existing link table and my hub. I can select both of them, for example, and then I will be able to run another macro. So yeah, I can just to change, instead of running like this, I will load it. So it is available here. So when you are using the editor, you can always, for example, you have the main, you will always have the sub main, which is the first method, the first method which will be called in the script, and you can always put, for example, here I can put a breakpoint, and so when I will select. So I have selected for my link the object that I want to use, and then I can click the play button to run the macro, and I will see that it has run everything till there. I can see, for example, here I have my two values for my LA hub and so on, and I can navigate and do some step-by-step to populate my different objects. So if I don't understand what is happening, do not hesitate to test and to navigate step by step, step over, step into, and so on to debug your macro. So I have clicked the play button to resume the run, and it has automatically created for us. So I have the can specify the prefix for my link. it has used the existing object name to create the link name. I can always rename my object. For example, employee order. I can rename in the other way if I want to, like this. I want to rename my table like that. It has selected the hub that I have selected. It show me which one has been used. Here, the same option that we had for the hub. You can put your domain in the Enterprise Data Dictionary, and you can generate the visual data lineage. And when I click Start, it will automatically generate for us this new link using these two objects in our model. So when I click Close, I will just change the layout of all my different objects to redraw it. I will minimize the script. And here we can see that we have generated this link employee order product with our different attributes like DSS record source, DSS load date, and the different column, the H key for the link itself, and the H key from the related hub and link. Finally, to get the information that we need, I will select my product once again. Yes, this is the one I want. And from this product, for example, I can run my macro again. This time I will run the satellite one. So the last one that we haven't used yet. So if I navigate here, I can see that I have my data vault. So the same option as before. I will select the same one as my target. Here I can select which object I want to use as my hub. So I have selected the table product. So by default, it took the hub products that I can use, or I can specify that I want, for this specific satellite, I don't want to use my hub product. I want to use this link because I will require some data from different objects. And so from here, I can specify that I want, for example, instead of naming it as product, I will name it commission payment per I can put it, I can type the name at the top or here if I want per product. And so my object name will be S commission payment per product. We put capital P. And from here, I can select the attribute that I want to add to my satellite. So we said during the slide that we need the product name and the product identifier and so on. So we can specify that I need the product number or identifier. I'm not sure. I will put both of them so my business user can use the different ones. So I select the field I want. I can select all and add all of them if I want to. So instead of doing it manually, I will automatically generate my object. And when I click the start button, automatically it adds our new satellite. I will click close one. And when I navigate to my data vault, if I change my layout once again, here you can see that it has added to our link, our satellite commission payment. So we have all the different changing values, attributes that we need for to create our commission payment. Okay. So this is the different macros that are involved for the data vault. You can easily create all these different macros within the solution to be sure that instead of like I said, we can manually create these different objects in our solution. But when you are using the macros, the advantage is that you will be sure that it will always redo exactly the same every time you run the macro. For example, I have another one to add some custom attributes. So you can see here I have added some custom attributes to my different object, and it has been automatically done through this script. And we are providing many different samples within that architect, and so you can easily view, use, and edit all the different scripts. So when you have your different macros, you will be always it will be always possible to use this macro to learn and to edit them to just achieve exactly what you need. If it's not exactly the same, you can always edit your macro to achieve this. When you need some documentation regarding the macro, it is available from here. When I click the arrow, I can expand, and here I have my automation interface reference. The RealWrap basic is for the language itself, and the automation interface reference will explain how to use the COM automation interface. You can use the macro like I show you today with Data Architect, or you can use your own application. For example, this one will load all my entities from my current diagram. It is a Delphi application, and I'm using the same COM automation interface to get my data. And so you have here all the documentation. So for example, for my entities, I have all the different properties for my entities to get the attributes of the entities, the indexes, to the different properties for my for the name, the definition, and so on. So most of the different properties will be available through this COM automation interface, and so you will be able to automate the different recurrent tasks that you may have with your projects. I hope it makes sense. The data lineage that has been generated when we have run the different macros earlier. Here it has generated, so the product has been used as my source to generate my hub product. I have then link my hub product, my link. I have bound together my link employee order and my hub product in this new hub, so I can see all this information has been automatically generated through the macro, and you can, as we have seen, you can always edit the macro to achieve. If you don't need the part for the visual data lineage, you can always remove it. You can uncheck the box, or you can edit it. This one will be was for the domain. I will show it just after. And here for the visual data lineage, for the visual data lineage, you have a specific region with all the source code which generate everything in this visual data lineage workflow. And for the domain, we have generated these different fields. For example, my HKey for my link that we have created together. It has created my data type, car 32 for my HKey and so on. So it has been automatically generated in my data dictionary. And you can, of course, customize this script directly. That's it for the demo part. Let's go back to the latest slide. So just to summarize what we have seen the RStudio we have seen an RStudio product overview. If you have any remaining question, do not hesitate to contact your account executive. He can manage a demo or whatever you need. We have reviewed our existing data vault. If you have if your data vault, if you don't have any data vault, it's not an issue. You just select an empty some model. You can create a new one just by selecting add create some model. You don't add any object. You call it data vault or the name that you need. I will not put any space to have a duplicate one. And when it's empty, you will select it from the macro like I did earlier. If you have nothing already created, you can always create your new object. Instead of selecting my data vault here, I will select my logical model. I can select my data vault that we have created together. And when I will select, for example, from the primary key, not select all. Primary key was nice, like this. I can, if I don't want to generate, I don't generate anything here. When I click the start button, it has, I'm too speed. It has automatically generated for us the new product. So if you don't have anything yet, don't worry, you can create it from scratch. And if you have already created some stuff, as you have seen, you can always add to an existing one. So we have used Data Architect and the different macros to fulfill this change request to our Data Vault model directly. I think, Tim, we have some survey, some question to ask. Let me know.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead. You can run the polls now. If the folks would answer
The
those,
polls?
that'd be great.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it? Okay, you're doing it.
I think I started it.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So if you can answer, it will help us to know what you want to achieve and to provide more feature regarding what you are looking for. Let me know. I have to go to the next, or?
Give it a second. It's collecting responses right now.
Yes. You can see it too? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Give it another, 15, 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, let me know.
Looks like the attendees are mostly actively building a data vault.
Yes.
So you can close this and go to the next one if you'd like, William, or I could do it.
Okay, I'm trying. Okay.
All right.
The first answer we got are regarding the reducing error in data modeling. So like I said, do not hesitate to use macro. Look at the different samples that you have. You can always automatically add some prefix to different tables. You can change the owner. You can really automatically change lots of properties, I would say, directly using these different macros, and you will be sure that everything has been handled through the script.
Okay, you can close this one out. There is a question from Peter. We'll get to that. Okay. And I think we just have the last poll here.
Yes.
Thank you guys for answering these questions for us. I know they're a bit onerous, but we'll go ahead and answer your questions right afterwards. So it's collecting responses now. Give this just a few more seconds. All right. Probably close that out. Let's go back into Data Architect here. Peter Falker, Peter, you have a question. Have you done anything with automated code generation? Example, yeah, and I imagine you're talking about ELT or extract and transform, your data and movement type of code generation. Your studio doesn't, you could go to your data lineage tab. So what he's showing you with these macros that have been developed, not only are you able to convert your Inman diagrams or existing data vault models and add new hubs, links, or satellites to an existing data vault model, or convert an Inman model over to the data vault modeling approach. The macros that have been shown actually also create the visual data lineage diagram that you're seeing on the screen. So this diagram can be published up into the web portal for your data engineers to use as maybe a specification or requirements for those transformations. They can be printed out from Data Architect or from here in Word or RTF form. There's also a macro that comes with Data Architect in the tool that you can show that it extracts so right, yep, down at the bottom there, visual data lineage export to Excel, which will create an Excel CSV file for it. But to your direct question, and I think, Peter, yes, you're exactly right. So we have another product under the IDERA umbrella called WhereScape that can actually take these Data Vault models and other models as an export from our web portal and ingest those into WhereScape to provide the guidance for WhereScape to go ahead and then start the automation. So if you're looking for two tools working together, one is the design angle, the other part is in WhereScape, which is the automation and just care and maintenance of a running data warehouse. That's on the WhereScape side, and the two tools work together. You're exactly right, Peter. So you have the design side in ER Studio, and you have the warehouse automation and facilitation on the WhereScape side. I hope that answers your question. All right. So
this is a file that you can import from WhereScape directly to generate.
Yeah. So it creates an XML for us. Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're welcome, Peter. And I think that's the end of our questions. I don't see any more coming in.